Whoa, I hit that button too soon. Hello.
What was that?
I hit my microphone quicker than I usually do. Look, you have a fever. I'm just a dumbass.
I do. Okay.
All right, what do you say fever? What temp we talking here? Like what's your digits, girl?
I mean, it hasn't broken 100 yet, but it's like getting there.
Yeah, okay. Good.
I drank some water before that. It was lower before that, so it could be higher now. You know what I'm saying?
Yep. I mean, you know what? It's
I put my wallet on the other side of my apartment.
I mean, that's a fair choice, but tell me right now, do you have any of your credit cards memorized, or / does your computer have it memorized?
My computer does. I remember my code on the back, so it doesn't help that. And I realized I haven't bought Death Stranding yet because I'm trying to hold out, hoping I get a free copy of that from the thing I do with the retail thing. But usually that happens. Sometimes that happens before the release. Sometimes it happens a week after the release. And I do not have the willpower.
I mean,
wait.
When I, made my little tweet that watch Justin buy stuff he shouldn't be buying in real time kind of thing. I mean that buying a game randomly, that's a normal Justin move. The Justin.
Granted, last time we did this, I bought the Doom Collector's Edition.
Exactly. The normal.
I don't remember if I was sick or what happened then, but
I was sick and I pre-ordered it. And you were like, oh, that's not a bad idea. So it was technically my illness that affected you. I still have that pre-ordered, and I really don't know why. I still never played Doom 2016.
What?
Never played it.
You have homework to do, sir.
I'm aware. I planned to. I just didn't get. I could not afford it when it first came out, and we still didn't have our Steam stuff working. Now that our Steam stuff's working, I'm just gonna play it off your account sometime soon.
There you go. There you go. Wise choice. Anyways, welcome to the Catch-All Podcast, the water cooler for constantly calibrated, where we talk about our game experiences and sometimes the news. Hi, I'm your host, Justin, with my co-host, Josh.
Hello there. I don't know, how are we doing? I
blacked out. What happened?
I made a crucial mistake earlier, and I took a nap. And most people are like, "Oh, naps are good for you." My body physically, my entire life has never handled naps well. They make me feel sick. They make me feel worse. I've only had the only good naps I've ever had are usually when I'm having a sensory headache, and that's less from the nap and more. I was in so much pain prior that turning my body off works, kind of thing. But a traditional nap, I never took a nap in my teen/adult life until I passed 30s and had a kid and /2 kids, and I've just felt like shit all day.
Ever consider donating yourself to science? Because I think I can learn a thing or two from you, Josh. You're a special type of boy.
I'm really just worried they wouldn't give me back. That's my big.
Oh no, they wouldn't. Like, God, nothing's like this we ever seen.
No, if I donated myself to science, you'd never see me again because there's so many. Look, one of two things would happen if I donated myself to science. They'd discover some really, really fundamentally wrong things with me, with like my genome or something, or they would discover that I'm such a skilled liar that I don't even know I'm lying. And
what if they militarize whatever they find from you, man?
I mean, how much worse could the world get?
I know, right? I was watching V for Vendetta yesterday because you remember the 5th of November. It's a thing I do. But yeah, I mean, that's what happened there, wasn't it? I don't remember. But anyways,
you just watch. Okay, continue.
Well, yeah, they made the poison to use to poison the kids and whatnot in the water supply from his blood,
as one does.
Anyways, as one does. So yeah, this is gonna be mostly what we've been playing packed episode, as every episode is that. I don't even know if we're gonna get anything in the news. We'll find out because like nothing significant happened.
I mean, stuff happened, and yeah. That's really what I got on that. We took the week off last week, and there's been stuff, but I think we have so much in the way of like stuff we've played that I question if we'll get there. Now let's see. Join us for this journey.
I have stuff that I may or may not add to this list as we go.
Oh no.
Okay. Oh, I mean, don't say oh no yet, because Josh, you know we've got to talk about, man.
That's why I'm saying oh no. It's a preemptive oh no.
Oh no, I mean, be careful. I will let you be a little bit relieved. I have not played Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3 that I'm aware of last week and the week before, or enough where I remember what I've done, so we're not going to talk about that, okay?
Glorious.
But Gundam Battle Operations 2 had an update, Josh. Holy crap. An actual update. I haven't seen that since I downloaded it.
Yeah, go on. Tell me more about it. No, seriously. Actually, I keep giving you shit on social media, but legitimately, I do want to hear more about this.
Yeah, well, actually, the update, I mean, it's just balancing stuff, yada, yada, yada. That part's not important. What they actually did, too, is I wasn't aware they threw, like, seasonal events.
Oh, shoot. That's good.
They got spoopy.
Well,
it's still going on.
It's, again, it's a free-to-play game, right?
Yeah.
Well, that makes sense. Free to play anything, regardless of how they do it, whether it's microtransaction heavy, just whatever way they do it. Seasonal events are definitely the way to keep people interested. It's why I played Simpsons Tapped Out for 4 straight years.
So this one is it pretty well. Like everything's decorated Halloween. They make the music spooky. Not really. It just has a certain like little ting to it. All your NPCs are dressed up in the Halloween accessories you can earn through the holiday events things. I forget the
holiday events things.
Yeah, the tasks are like, get top assist 3 games, stuff like that. And you can get bat wings, devil tail, cat tail, pumpkin head, all lots of fun things. But they also had 2 other mobile suits, because not only is it like decorating Halloween, they put a bunch of GOGs around. Josh, you know what the GOG is? Not Game Over Greggy.
Okay, not Game Over Greggy, not like
2Gs at the end.
2Gs, okay.
Let me tell you about the GOG, man. It's a mobile suit that's kind of mole-like. If I remember right, they use it in underground fights and dig through crap. Anyways, he's everywhere, just posing all kind of fun poses, man. Just being a crazy old guy. And but no, that's also the thing you also can get through that too. You can get unlock 2 of those suits to play with the multiplayer. But they added one more thing where it doesn't tell you this by any means. I found this out by everybody having this little cute GOG accessory where it's just a little cute mobile suit mold thing and just hang it on your arm, like hugging on it. It's so adorable. Game does not explain that whatsoever. I did finally find it on the site, and it seems like you actually have to push the touchpad.
Okay. Which
brings up a first-person view, and then you have to spot the GOGs on the stage, like on the lobby area. And there's 14 of them.
Spot the GOGs sounds like the weirdest mini game from like Mario Party ever.
Well, you gotta spot the GOGs, man. And I actually did a good job hiding these because they're still. I don't lie. I try to find what I can. Got 10, but then they put like little ones just chilling on shelves and crap.
Okay.
That got 3. One was in a bucket by a tank. And then the last one, if you look above, you'll see one of the supply drop, I think it's like the aircraft or whatever. It just flies overhead as part of this scenery. And then there's like one just hanging from it, just like being trailed. I'm like, oh.
Okay.
I would have never looked up. So, yeah, I got all my stuff. I'm happy about it. And yeah, it's a cool little event. I didn't know they were doing it. I'm still enjoying it, Josh. I am now a C+ in the ground. And C in space. That's my ratings.
I'm very happy you found something you enjoy this much. It's delightful.
We'll see how long it lasts, because I'm already starting to get to that point. It's like I don't have to do dailies every day, but I have been doing the dailies every day, so we'll see what happens.
That's usually
I want people to play with, and no one's there.
That's what always happens with MMOs, with any online kind of heavy games and stuff like that. It's I
am shocked at the amount of people who just don't know what to do when they're playing this game.
Yeah.
At the level I'm at right now, like that, those take some game wins to get there, and people still play dumb. I don't get it.
I mean, that's what happens in most competitive games and things like that. Is there's always people who reach like the highest ranks and like are like matched up, and you're like, I'm playing better than these people. What's wrong?
Okay, I said ranks. I should say ratings. So they do have ranks, your steady rank that grows when you get experience, but they also have ratings in the rated match where if you lose, it goes down. It's like a placement tier in
okay.
Like Rainbow Six or anything like that has like the gold tier, silver tier, stuff like that. But there's people at the same tier I'm playing at that still don't know how to play the damn game, and not the game is like it takes a bit to learn. You can't just hop into it and be a god of mobile suits.
Mobile Suit Gundam.
Yeah. Man, that's a new
Hey,
game.
so Studio Fortis says, you've heard of Elf on a Shelf, but what about Gog in the Fog?
There's one in a foggy place, to be completely honest.
All right.
And I didn't put that together now. I wish I did.
Gog in a Fog, Gog in a Fog, there's Gog in a Fog, Gog in a Fog.
No, the thing is, like, I should go take a picture of that, post it, but no one knows what the fuck I'm talking about, so it doesn't matter.
I mean, you could post it anyways, and like the 5 people who are really super into the game other than you would be really into it, and then you'd have like loyal Gundam following.
Yeah.
I don't know where
Andy-
I'm going with this.
Andy Cortez, except we learned that as a sham. Or more, that's a blown up Greg Miller thing, but still.
Yeah, that's a Millerism. Gregism?
Such a Millerism.
I think Gregism actually.
Sure.
I think Gregism soisms better.
Gregism does sound better.
Yeah. Also sounds like Grey
but
Goose, but whatever. I broke Justin. Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, that happened. I'll go ahead and cover another game real quick. I am playing more Warhammer 2 with a friend. We're still doing our campaign. We finally locked on the factions we want to play. I think of the word there. And so I'm playing Empire. He's doing some dwarves, man. And let me tell you, man, this whole world does not like dwarves at all. Everybody's attacking him. Nobody likes me because I deal with him.
Okay.
I don't know why, Josh?
I
Why
can't.
are you mad at a dwarf? Why hate him?
I don't know. I mean, I cannot speak to this dwarf hatred.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
But another thing we've done, like, what was it? Fake Gaming Nerd, or was it Fake Gaming Nerd or Jessica Negrier posted it? The Rohirrim, or I forget his name. Basically, like his pickup lines, but in his like lines from Lord of the Rings. We use that now.
Okay.
So like things are like if I'm tired, I'll go, my body is broken, or stuff like that.
Fair enough.
Or we get ready to do like a joint attack, like let this be the hour we draw swords together.
Oh God, no! Please don't.
It's great. So yeah, it's cool. We're still doing it. We're probably gonna do some tonight too. We'll see.
Nice.
We're seeing what the night takes us. It's crazy. Josh, I'm gonna let you take a turn here before I get my other stuff.
Oh yeah, so I'm not actually going to start off with something. So I don't have a full review of this. I hope to spend more time with it, but I didn't have a chance. But I picked up. So you guys may have seen this lovely little device here. It used to be called like the Switch Fix. Greg Miller had one. Andrew Renee had one. Well, they opened up an Indiegogo campaign a few weeks ago, and I decided to order the Founders Edition, which is the same one that was sent out to Greg, Andrea, and other people. And yeah, so it's now called the Fixture S1, and what's cool, and it's the Founders Edition. What's cool is it has Bear Punch written on it.
Oh,
It's so the way the guy did the campaign is the Indiegogo has 2 different ones, and one is the Founders Edition, which is like the one he sent out to other people, and it's 3D printed. And they were able to be pretty much sent out immediately. There's an actual production model releasing, I think, at the beginning of next year, which has like little improvements like. There's a hole here, so because the way the thing works right now, like one of the, I guess you could say the oversights of it is, so the point of it is it's a way for you to use your Switch controller and play your Switch in handheld mode. I'll show exactly how it works in a second. So you snap the controller in, and the production model will have a hole back here because if you notice, you can't charge your controller when it's in here like this. So.
Are you going to mod it and drill a hole?
I mean, yes, you can completely and utterly do that. But in any case, so I haven't had a chance to play more than like an hour worth of time with it because I haven't been playing as much Switch stuff. But as you can see, with this lovely reflection of my office, it essentially is just allows you to play Switch with a Pro Controller on the go instead of using Joy-Cons, if that's is your preference. What's nice about it, one of the biggest complaints I've ever had about handheld Switch when you're playing with the Joy-Cons is it feels improperly weighted on my wrists. After with a standard Switch, after 30 minutes to 45 minutes, particularly like playing on a plane or something like that, honestly, my wrists, my forearms hurt. My fingers kind of hurt too. I bought a case, I think from Skull and Company, that I showed off on this show I don't know, like a month ago or something like that, which actually helped my issues greatly, and that works great for Joy-Cons, but I've been curious about the Fixture S1 for a while now, because hearing people talk about it and how it's much better for your wrist. Just for short term, holding it like this, I'm going to be honest, at least this model does feel not super comfortable holding it like this. However, I have found, because you can position it however you want, putting it over your fingers and stuff like that suddenly removes that weight off my wrists. And I played it for about an hour with pretty much no fatigue.
Okay, I was about to say, yeah, the way with it propped up like that, it looks like the weight balance is horrible right there. But yeah, when this is folded over, that's
this is
comforting.
Not great, but like you can literally fold it all the way around, and yet cool. Playing it right over your fingers feels the most comfortable and natural for me, at least. I know everyone's different, but you could do it at different angles. What's also cool is I can't really show it off with the camera right now, but you can also take the Switch controller off and just use this as a better quality stand versus the kickstand on the back. My one issue with it so far is the fact that I find it incredibly difficult to get the controller out of here. I think maybe it's because it's a new 3D printed thing, but literally I feel like I'm not even going to risk doing it on the show. I'm legitimately worried I'm going to either break the thing in half or I'm going to break my controller in half. But yeah, overall, I forget it's on Indiegogo. If you go check out, I'm trying to remember what the name is. If you're curious about it, at Fixture Gaming, they have an Indiegogo in their link. If it's something you're all interested in looking into, what I liked about it is it's $28 for it's $39 on its own. I got the early birds pricing, to be clear, which was like 20 something. It's $39 for the Founders Edition that I have. The production model will be $28 and ship sometime in April. And you can get both for $59. I think I got the early bird pricing thing, and it was like $40. Yeah, I think it was $40 for both. So I was curious enough to see how it works. If there's more to say on it, I'll say more next week or in a couple of weeks to just report how it feels after using it for a while. I was just waiting for more Switch stuff to come out.
Gotcha.
Speaking of Switch stuff, I want to actually hear about a Switch game if you're ready.
Well, we can go with that one. Yeah, so I got Luigi's Mansion 3. Ouija's time. I put it in there. Yeah, God, I love this game. I adore it, even.
See, I have I still have one game left on my, that pass thing they did, that voucher pass thing. And I keep talking myself out. Original plan was to get Luigi's Mansion 3. I've never played a Luigi's Mansion before, but that was the original plan, and I keep talking myself out of getting it.
Because you're not using it for Pokemon, are
you? No, we weren't. I mean, God, at this point, maybe. But no, I have... No, I'm not going to use it for Pokemon because I have Pokemon pre-ordered from Best Buy, which I want to cancel so badly.
Cancel it, man. Just do it, man.
Charnel actually said she really wants to play this one, so
she could play it. Cancel yours.
I don't know. I'll see. Maybe. Well, the problem is I get that 20% off at Best Buy, but then there's also the $10 pre-order bonus. Gotcha. So it'll never be cheaper than that.
No, it won't. Those things never drop in price.
Exactly.
But yeah, I highly recommend it, man. Spend that voucher on it. Like, what else is coming out that you would use it on is the question I would ask you. But
it's good till next June. So
okay.
I literally can't think of something else, but the only thing I could think of is it works for Dragon Quest XI, which I do very much want to play.
I'm on the very edge of getting Dragon Quest XI too. Like, I'm trying a demo right now.
Yeah,
I'm enjoying it when I can, but Luigi's Mansion kind of took over that for the moment.
I wanted to finish a game we're going to talk about in a little bit, Outer Worlds, before I even considered Dragon Quest.
Oh yeah. So yeah, Luigi's Mansion. I'm like on floor 8, maybe. But anyways, like, this game is just adorable. It has personality, every bit of it.
That's what I keep hearing from people.
Yeah, it shows Nintendo has like clear art direction when they do their in-house stuff. Wait, I forget. This is what in-house? I think so.
I think so. I thought so.
Especially as a fan of Luigi, you got to, because, oh man, it's great, man, dude. Yeah, he got a little spooky ghost dog, which I love. And God, it's just like a very cathartic game, just sucking up everything, man. And the cool thing about the game too is like there's some weird parts. Like you get to a puzzle, I'm like, oh man, I don't have what I need for that yet. You kind of get everything you need within the first couple floors.
That's what I keep hearing from people, is you actually unlock pretty much everything you need pretty quickly, and it's more about your ingenuity to understand something, to understand a puzzle versus having the right tools.
Exactly. And there's like so much I don't understand. I'm like, how do I do that? I don't get it. Can't figure it out. And they do the same thing with like all the like pretty much each map is a puzzle.
Okay.
For the most part. They either have something you have to solve, something you have to figure out, something you have to play with multiple rooms. And then after that, usually you fight a boss, and then the boss gives you your next elevator button, and you move on up. There's some stuff that's going on between there. Of course, you're trying to, get your friends back, so they all get captured.
Sure.
Toad drives a large van in the beginning. He can't see over the wheel. It's great.
My favorite meme that I've seen so far is people are like, I think it essentially says, so people are saying that Death Stranding doesn't get good till about 10 hours in. Yeah, well, Luigi's Mansion 3 gets good 10 seconds in when Toad is driving this van.
That's accurate.
And I saw the picture of Toad, and I'm like, honestly, this sold me more than anything else on this game.
I am like truly just taken by this game. I'm enjoying it. This is a game I play at lunch now. Like usually I get like a level down. It's just so much charm and there's so much personality through it. Like every single, like I would like to talk about the bosses, but talking about them kind of like ruins the boss experience if that's a spoiler for you, which I think it is in this game. Each boss has a certain type of personality, a certain type of, and not to mention the whole level. Like each floor is themed a certain way. Like one might be a gardenish thing, one might be medieval, one be a movies thing. And then that also goes with the boss of that area as well too.
Okay.
So it's really cool. I haven't got to try it because I'm a lonely boy, but I heard the co-op's pretty good on it too. Because I think like one controls Luigi, one controls Guigi.
Yeah, that's what I've heard. And that's, I think, the reason why I'm also on the fence about it, because I originally bought it under the pretense that I wanted to play it with Charnel and maybe play it with Roran as well, and like have a gaming experience. And finding game time, like that's just not structured into our family dynamic very well. And I'm just like, I don't want to buy it. Like I bought earlier this year, I picked up what the hell is it, Mario Maker on the Switch, and that the whole pretense of that was to teach Roran how to play games and to play that with him and play that with Charnel. And it ended up with me just playing the entire campaign of the game more or less on the toilet and never actually really, like, we tried family time, it just never worked out. So I'm just I'm hesitant to play something that I fixated on playing in a co-op capacity. But I keep having to try to tell myself it's a fucking like Mario Luigi-esque kind of, game. These are games that you do play multiple times. It's not about just playing one time. It's not about anything else. You can play these kind of things. How many times did I play Super Mario 64, for instance? So I keep trying to put myself in that mindset of, so what if I start it and then suddenly, Roran or Charnel gets interested? Just start that stuff over. Jump in co-op. Yada, yada, yada.
Which, this is a game, like, I wouldn't mind restarting with somebody else, too, even where I'm at right now. And plus, on top of that, there's also, like, I know it's at least 4-player. I think it's more than that. Just like a bunch of mini games you can do, like for like a party mode.
Interesting.
But yeah, it's just good. I was like to say, I was listening to Kind of Funny kind of review it too. Like Tim Geddes kind of said, like this game just visually doesn't look good, and I disagree with that. I think this game, I mean, yeah, it's not the most polished looking game when you compare it to something like, not polished. I mean, game itself, it's a Nintendo product. It is polished, but it's like visual wise, yeah, it doesn't look as, I guess, clean as Super Mario does. Galaxy? No, not Galaxy.
Odyssey.
What's this one? Odyssey. Thank you. God, so many Mario names. But like, it still looks great. It has like awesome level effects, like reflections on the floor, stuff like that. Lighting is fantastic, and I just really think it's a cool game.
I think Odyssey and Breath of the Wild ruined people visually for Nintendo games, because Odyssey's gorgeous, all the levels, the Mario style thing, and Breath of the Wild is, I mean, breathtaking. It's amazing what that game looks like, and the atmosphere of it.
But the fun part about this is, again, like with Nintendo, they find an art direction, stick to it. Like Breath of the Wild, technically, nothing hasn't been seen before, but art style, though, it just brings a whole new level to it. And it's the same thing back in, like, Wind Waker still looks great to this day.
Well, and that's one of Nintendo's strong suits, is they may not have the best graphic fidelity, but they create or they use art styles that make it that, for the most part, the games stand a test of time. So, yeah.
It's also, usually when, like, on their main part of games, that's also strongly developed with that sense of mind, unlike some other studios. So it's like, oh, this is developing this side, this is developing this side, this developing this side, which you actually, like, when it all gets put together, some things kind of don't match up, some things are kind of weird. So yeah, just having this one unified art direction as, like, this is it, this is what it looks like, this is what we're going for, got to be in this theme. It's just, I don't know of any game company that does it better.
Makes sense.
But yeah, highly recommend it. The one downside, or a couple downsides, is one, E-Guy talks way too much, but you can turn that off, but he still talks too much. And the controls are definitely unconventional. I'll say that.
That's also what I hear.
It's mostly, you will get used to it. But yeah, it's weird. Right, we'd start. And, yeah, I just lost my train of thought there.
You're good.
Because I was just thinking about suck. So, like, every time I play that game, I'm thinking about that part in Spaceballs, because that's all I do during a damn game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean that makes sense.
And you do turn to suck to blow. I mean, that happens. I don't know my suck to blow ratio. Probably more suck. Definitely more suck. But.
Okay, well, this is officially now a teen-rated stream, so keep your suck to blow ratio to yourself.
I'm talking about vacuums. What are you talking about? But yeah, it's cool. Their puzzle's really smart. How you have to use your abilities. They get some smart moments there too. I mean, you do get to the point sometimes, especially if you got, like, fully on, he will straight up tell you, he's like, oh, you should, maybe this will work. I'm like, oh. But yeah, like, truly figuring that out, it's pretty cool. Like, so there's one that I got literally frustrated because I couldn't figure it out. But anyways, it was just saying something, because I usually like puzzle games. I love them. I get them more than most people do. Yeah, some of these are actually throwing me for a loop. But as far as, like, the actual difficulty of the game,
okay.
Besides some of the puzzles, not really. I haven't died yet. There's always a heart somewhere, and also it does one of those annoying Nintendo heart things or low health things where it does make a noise that you can't turn off, which is really annoying.
That's the other thing I've heard, is it's one of the more annoying noises.
Yeah. But yeah, everything is just super satisfying about this game. Exploring a mansion, fighting the ghosts, because, like, on top of, like, just trying to, like, suck them into the vacuum, you could also now kind of, like, throw them up and down, but you can also, like, if there's another ghost on your side, throw them in that direction and hit that ghost with them.
Okay.
Yeah, there's just, like, actually a lot of options in there too. And then, like, some of the ghosts get more challenging. For instance, early fighting spoilers, but you do have a flashlight which blinds the ghost, stuns them, and then that's when you kind of suck them in. Later on, some ghosts might have sunglasses. You got to figure out how to get that off of them, and then you can use it.
Okay.
Get them in. Stuff like that.
I mean, that's cool. That's like cool. That's fun, quirky stuff. We didn't talk about this at the top. Did you play any of the previous Luigi's Mansion games?
I think I briefly played Luigi's Mansion 1. Always wanted to, but that was at the time that I didn't have my GameCube, and by the time I got my GameCube, I honestly don't know why I didn't pick it up. I just didn't get it for 3DS because I barely got anything for 3DS.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. I was just curious, like, if you had a frame of reference to compare it to. So essentially, you'd be like me. You're more or less a new player to it.
Well, like, if one I remember, this one's a little harder to control, but I think it's more satisfying. Another downside is, like, you do get a bunch of coins, and you're sucking them up, and you kind of feel like the need to get more. But from what I understand, you really don't do much with that. Like, there's a few upgrades you could buy, and
my understanding,
and not even upgrades. It's like disposable items,
consumables. Yeah, my understanding, one of the complaints that I heard, I think actually, we keep referencing from Tim Geddes, was him saying that the first two games, the coins pretty much did nothing. What it was it affected your ending on how big of a mansion Luigi could buy. It was, and that was all it was. And this game, it just felt like it was just used for consumables and not in that way. I don't know if at the end of the game,
Yeah, that I can't say. Except definitely
if
haven't finished it yet.
Yeah, I haven't heard anyone talk about the ending of the game. Everyone I know has played the game either hasn't discussed the ending or hasn't gotten to the ending. So yeah, cool.
I'm hoping that's the case. Like there is something big that you can buy with it. But either way, I'm still gathering all the money. Like I can't help it. Like you smash something, you see dollar bills fly, you got to suck them up. You see like a golden mouse or spider or something, suck them up to some money, man.
It's like me. We're gonna get to in a little bit, but it's like me with Outer Worlds. I reached the point that I literally had everything I could want in the game. Every weapon, wealthy beyond compare in the game, all these other things, and yet I still had to open every last box I came across, every last thing, do every last possible conceivable thing I could to open, even though I did not need money, and I certainly not need weapons or armor parts.
Sure.
It's kind of. I see boxes, or I see jars, or I see vases, or I see pots, or I see
gotta smash
boxes.
Them. Gotta get stuff
you
inside.
smash them, you open them, move along, kind of thing.
Which is not good for me in real life because you slowly see something like, man, there gotta be a goodie in there, and it's when you just smash stuff, it's called vandalism.
Sometimes, often, regularly.
But yeah, we're gonna move on to the next game. This one's not gonna harp too long on, but it's just I had a really cool experience with it. It is actually Modern Warfare.
Let's hear it.
Has some friends convinced me to get it. I will say I have played a little bit of single player campaign. As far as a Modern Warfare or Call of Duty campaign go, this one is actually pretty good.
Okay.
Yeah, I know there's a lot of hubbub about how realistic they go. They are trying to go for that tense, edgy type deal. But as for somebody that doesn't deal with PTSD in that way, with combat and stuff, and someone who likes military like movies and stuff like that, or kind of like the SWAT shows or anything like that, it's really cool to kind of like give you that reaction. I don't know, I like anybody a fan of that will just actually love this campaign. It's pretty cool from what I've seen so far, and I'm actually for once interested. I'm not gonna say once interested, because I have been interested in some Call of Duty stories, but not like what's gonna happen next. Just most of them have been like, oh, this is cool what's happening right now. Oh, you take the knife out your chest and throw it at the dude. That's awesome. This one's more of like, yeah, I want to know what's going on with the overall plot. Like it does it very good at transitioning from one mission cutscene to the next mission cutscene that ties it together to the next mission. It's pretty good, but yeah, let's get to the multiplayer. This is what I want to talk about. Cross play. I am down, man. Mostly it's my friends from work that convinced me to get this one. It's on the Xbox, one's on the PlayStation. I'm playing on PC, and yeah, we did some crossplay stuff, and there's some bugs here. Just as well, there's bugs when any Call of Duty launches or any game launches nowadays, anyways. But there's some stuff they need to work on, but it's really cool. The way Call of Duty does it tries to match people's input. The way you have to do that with PC is there's an option in the menu that you have to click. You have to pick using your keyboard or your controller during multiplayer.
Okay.
And then when you start a match, it locks you to that. So if you're playing with a controller, it's going to try to lock you with controller people, though it can match with keyboard and stuff like that, or keyboard or mouse. But it tries to match the input type and then like put you all together. I haven't tried this in rank match yet. We're mostly just doing quick play, so I can't speak to that. And even if you're like on someone with a controller fighting somebody with keyboard and mouse, they do kind of benefit you with controller as well. Like you do have stuff like aim assist that can help you out with that. There are some people who actually perform better with that than they would with keyboard and mouse. And a keyboard and mouse, you don't have any aim assist, but you do have that more pinpoint accuracy as well. The mouse will let you with the aim. Ways I can see this is going to be abused, and I already know it's going to happen because I know it's already been done in previous Call of Duties, is where, because I know people play it on Xbox, but they actually spoof a keyboard to play the game as a controller. And I imagine that's going to be happening here too. Like, someone's going to be able to play as with the keyboard and mouse, spoofing it as a controller, still getting those aim assists because the game thinks you're doing that. And just completely ruin it for people. But again, I don't know how it does in rank play, quick play. I really can care less. Whatever. I'll lose a match. That's cool. But yeah, other than that, it's just the whole crossplay thing. Like, I'm definitely into that now too. I always was like, oh man, no, just all I need is cross progression. It's fine. Now I'm solid behind crossplay right now. It's
Well,
so cool.
That's awesome. Yeah, you were always kind of like never not anti crossplay, but you you were just take it or leave it. I'd rather progression. So it's cool to actually hear that you've come around on it a little more.
Yeah, just you buy a game, you don't have to worry about where your friends are playing. It's awesome. No longer have to play that type of thing when you make that purchase, and it's just really cool. Don't have to buy multiple copies either.
Good.
But yeah, that's all pretty much I got to say on that. I'll probably might have some more things to say. We'll see. I mean, my experience in that probably is not going to change that much. And I'm not one to give you an in-depth review about Call of Duty.
It's Call of Duty.
It's Call of Duty. It's in my I do enjoy playing them. I'm getting pretty decent at them, but I'm like not one that can break down the minutia of it.
Sure.
But yeah, the mode I do want to say is, well, they're going to swap this up here now and then. Right now, it's just gunfight, but it's like a 2v2 mode, and they are like quick matches, like very quick, very snappy. How it's like takes place on a smaller map, of course. At the beginning of the map, like there's outlines of your enemies, so everybody knows where everybody starts at. Everybody knows everything, and with gunfight, like it swaps the guns as you're playing each round, but it's the same guns for every person. Perks are involved in this. There's no other advantage you can have in there. Like everybody's equal, and the maps are pretty good symmetrical. Pretty easy to navigate, and it's just using, your skill with how you try to manipulate the map to do this thing. And like the matches are super quick. You either have to kill both people or eliminate the other team, and then like there is a countdown. I forget how long the timer is. It's not long, but after the countdown, like a flag will appear at the middle of the screen. The capture on the flag is very quick, and which urges people to stop camping as well. Like you have to push for that. And I don't know, it's cool. It keeps people moving. It's very quick, and after a match is over, you're like, or a round's over, you're right into the next one. So yeah, definitely fun, very addicting, and I praise that as well. So yeah, it's cool. I don't regret the purchase right now, but we'll see how long I play it with my friends, especially because this one I'm going to touch on very, very quick because I don't have too much to say because I didn't play too much of it yet. But Red Dead just hit PC. It was a fight to get that thing to run.
That's yeah.
It's mostly because, I don't know if this is NVIDIA causing it, or it's just how Rockstar has it set for its default, but, like, my resolution went all crazy, it locks up, not to mention try to trigger HDR automatically. I just couldn't get anything to launch, it crashed every single time. To finally like the game to pop say, do you want to launch the safe mode? Did that, did it in window, no extra features on, everything on low. And from there, I was actually able to set my options, and now I could just start the game.
Yeah, one of those things where you gotta get in far enough into the game to drop every single setting to the minimum just to be able to get in the game to raise them to the proper early PC gaming for a brand new high end game.
Look, my friend likes jokes like, "Yeah, I'm glad console's the beta." I'm like, "Yeah," because this totally seems like it was planned and polished.
Yeah, and from what I understand, you actually had a good experience compared to most.
Yeah. I found out how to make it work because that's what I do for a living.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's cool. It's definitely pretty. It's
of course
definitely more fidelity than it does in console, and it can run higher than 30 frame rates, which I didn't think would be a big deal for a game like this. But that thing looks damn smooth. But pretty much I started my multiplayer character, got a few things done, haven't tried single player, so that's all I have to say about the game. Other than I'm really excited to play with some friends that wouldn't pick it up for console.
Sounds good. I mean, it sounds good, man.
Yeah, so let's get into our big topic this week.
Are we doing the big topic? Oh, okay. Sounds good.
Oh, yeah, wait, no. You had another review. Sorry. Get your review in. I totally forgot.
No, you're good. Yeah, so I talked a couple of weeks ago about, I did a little, mini, 2-3 weeks ago, I did a little preview of Mario and Sonic Olympic Games, where I said I didn't want to give my full opinions because I wanted to wait for the embargo. The embargo dropped yesterday on the 5th with the release of the game. And so I don't have a lot to add, but in case you missed that, so Mario and Sonic, the Olympic Games 2020 is, Tokyo 2020 is the latest game. And to be clear, Sega sent me a code. Just putting that out there, particularly with the new FTC guidelines. If you're a content creator, go look those up because they're actually going to come for your ass now. It's not light how it used to be. But yeah, so sent the code by Sega. And so I played the game. I liked previous Mario and Sonic games. I haven't honestly played one since the original one, and maybe one of them later on. What I'd previously talked about is I'd played the game in handheld mode, and I'd played the game with Joy-Con with friends and stuff like that. I had not tried motion controls yet, and I was halfway done with the campaign. I finished the campaign. It's only a few hours long. A big portion of it is taking you through, you explore Tokyo both in 2020 and Tokyo in 1964. The 1964 component is because in this game, Bowser and Dr. Eggman joined forces to trap Mario and Sonic inside a video game world that is representing the 1964 Olympics. And
Doug Bowser, Jim Carrey do such a thing?
Exactly. And they end up trapping themselves at the same time because, they're not as smart as they think they are. The campaign is then it's like roughly 15 chapters. Every chapter it switches back and forth between 2020 real world, quote unquote real world, and 1964 game. It'll jump back and forth. And part of it is you are unlocking facts about these respective eras of the Olympics, and occasionally facts about the characters in the Mario and Sonic universes. As you go, you have more characters join you, but it makes this big thing about new companion characters, but every event has a predetermined character you are playing as. You're not choosing who you play as in the campaign. It's just the story mode, and you're just taking through it, and the whole thing is to release them from the game world. It's fun. The writing's good overall. Like for a Mario and Sonic game, it's enjoyable. It's cute. What I said last time, what I didn't like was the dialogue moves so slowly. Even if you're clicking through, if you are even a slightly fast reader, like me, like I'm not even like that particularly fast, but even if you're a slightly fast reader, it gets a little dull because it doesn't move as fast. As I like to read stuff in games, but whatever. And the story mode essentially just takes you through almost every event in the game. I think it leaves off a few of them plus the dream events. And the cool thing it does, what I liked, is it unlocks. You'll compete against certain characters that become playable when you're playing with friends only in that thing. So like Rouge, is it Rouge or Rogue? I can never remember. Rouge the Bat. Or Rogue the Bat, whatever, is only available for whatever reason in the rock climbing event. But you unlock her for that. Or there's some characters from, I think it's the Sonic Lost World game that become available in other modes. It's cool stuff like that. Otherwise, the story mode, it's cool they added a story mode to Mario and Sonic, but it doesn't necessarily do anything special. It's enjoyable.
So it's there.
it's perfectly there, and it's perfectly crumbly. And again, I don't think it took me more than 4-ish roughly hours. I don't know exactly, but I think that's about how long it took me to play through it. It might have been less, maybe a little bit more. Now, the main point of these games, obviously, is the multiplayer. It's a party game. Playing with friends, a lot of fun. We had an enjoyable time. Some games are better than others. The big issue is there are a lot... Like, there's games... I feel like the original Mario and Sonic game, everyone took turns. So when you're playing the javelin and stuff like that, like you weren't all doing stuff at the same time. Maybe I'm wrong, and someone could correct me, but I feel like you took turns doing stuff. Particularly the fact that it was on the Wii and it was motion control only. I feel like you had to be taking turns because otherwise there'd be two people swinging their damn arms around. So this game, some things are like that, but particularly the 1964 stuff, like the diving minigame, which is absolutely my favorite thing in the whole game. It's just all clicking buttons. But yeah, for instance, archery. When you're doing two-player archery works either 1v1 or 2v2. When you're doing that, it's split screens. It's even on a full-size TV, it is so freaking hard to see the target in that game. So when you're suddenly split screen, it becomes very hard. Like that's my big issue with this game is it's hard. I feel like it's very difficult to see stuff on the screen, and that wasn't just me. With everything going on, I was playing with Charnel and her brother and sister-in-law. We all had the same issues in most games where it's just like, I don't know. Like the screen real estate was not used well. I feel like I didn't know what was going on half the time. Yeah, Charnel straight up won't play it anymore. She's like, if I wanted to play a party game, I'd play a good one. I'm not.
Oof.
Yeah, she has a very low opinion of the game. I, however, do enjoy it and would like to play with more people. It's just I don't feel like it's the best effort I've seen in the party kind of field. It's a lot of the mini games feel a little bit one note. Things like this 1964 diving, things like the 2020 style like javelin throw, and particularly the surfing and skateboarding are really well done and really enjoyable, I find. I also finally tried the dream matches. The dream racing is more or less literally Mario Kart, but on a skateboard with one level. It's enjoyable. Dream shooting's cool because I mean it's they're all interesting modes. All the dream stuff is actually really cool. And then like my final thing is I did try motion controls and immediately went back to using buttons on a controller. It's fine. It's motion controls. You swing arms around. You run. You do stuff like that. It's just not precise. I feel like it's better if you're doing a party game mechanic where everyone's in the room playing together. In that sense, it's a lot more fun. But if you're playing single player, I think it's buttons or nothing.
Gotcha.
Overall, if you like this style of game, I'd say pick it up. At the very least, pick it up if you have like Best Buy Gamers Club or something that you can get a little bit of a discount on. I think it's perfectly enjoyable and it's fun to play with people. But this is not something if you don't already have it a day after release, you're probably not running out to buy it. Throw it into the Christmas tree if you have kids.
Speaking of Switch things, have you made any more progress or spent more time with the Switch Ring Fit thing?
No, I'm really upset with myself because I don't know why I really haven't. I brought back the stuff back here to talk about it on the podcast, and I forgot to bring it like back out where I had more room to use it. I haven't, and I'm really bummed out about it. But to be fair, after I used it last time, I did overexert myself, and it straight up took me 3 days to recover. So, like, as ridiculous
That's what working out does.
as ridiculous as it sounds, no, I'm gonna go back to using it. My plan is to start. So I had been doing it like randomly in the morning. Charnel was like, why don't you do it at night after the kids go to bed? The problem is I've been kind of depressed lately, and when I'm depressed, I eat my feelings. So it's kind of hard to work out while I'm eating a pizza.
Do you have a pizza as big as the Ring Fit that you could hold with the Ring Fit?
Wow. That's actually about the size, roughly, of the pizzas, the Trader Joe's pizzas I typically keep in the freezer. That's genius, Justin.
No, it's not, because the things will get everywhere. But still,
it's a terrible genius idea, but I like it all the same. No,
like working out.
I'm trying to figure out when I'm going to start again. I think I'm going to try to go back to it. Today's Wednesday, probably like later in the week, because I would like to by PAX South be in better shape. I'm screwed for DreamHack Atlanta, but I would like by PAX South to not feel like garbage all the time.
That's a goal we got to share together. We just got to, encourage each other to get there.
There we go.
Because I'm definitely there. Oh, well, not there, as in that's the shape I want to be. No, I get winded doing dumb things. I sweat so much doing VR. Granted, that could be my medication, but more than one man should. Things get nasty. Y'all saw that Batman mask.
Jesus Christ. Freaking
I literally had to pick up the nose just to drain the sweat.
All right. I do not need to hear more of your Batman sweat masks.
Yeah,
I had to witness it. I don't need to hear more.
It's pretty nasty, man.
No, but yeah, we should come up with some plan or some such, or I think Ring Fit might actually have some competitive stats and stuff like that. we could start a Ring Fit Adventure book club.
Because I don't have one, so that means I have to go get one, and I am running a fever right now, so it seems like a good idea.
Remember, I can just buy it for you with Gamers Club Unlocked, and you save 20%. And I get nothing out of it. Man. This isn't like an affiliate link or something like that. I'm just offering to help you out.
For a Cal affiliate, contact Josh to buy your stuff from Best Buy.
Yeah, I get literally nothing out of. I guess I technically get Best Buy points, which are absolutely useless.
That's what we're gonna use to fund all of our cost. Oh, man.
Yeah, that or finally launch the damn Patreon again.
That's fine. You can all trust Josh with your credit card information.
No, I wouldn't. I wouldn't do that. Let's not say we didn't. So let's get to our main topic game.
Yes, the Outer Worlds. Oh man,
I heard you like slow down to make sure you didn't say Wilds.
Wilds. There's like such there's Outer Wilds. There is someone
needs to release before the end of the year, or at least before the end of January. We need someone to release Outer Woods.
That'd be great.
I need an Outer Woods. I need an Outer Woods releasing now, and I need Louder Wilds, and Louder Woods, and Louder Worlds.
Just all these things make them happen. More confused.
I really need it to happen because it's just amazing listening to podcasts where people try to review Outer Worlds and they're like, and I got to play Outer Wilds, chef. You know.
It happens. Both great games, by the way.
Now that I'm done with Outer Worlds, I'm actually looking. I think Outer Wilds or After Party are going to be my next Game Pass things.
Outer Wilds. I need to do After Party too, but Outer Wilds is really. If there's a time you're feeling weird, you need something to distract you, but it's also calming, but also like intrigues you to see. I don't know. There's something about the Outer Wilds that just. I don't know, it sucks you in, you get to a zen moment, you're relaxing, but you're also engaging your brain at the same time. Just play it. It's good. It's good. It's a good time. It's Annapurna. This is what those games do to you.
Okay. I mean,
anyways, Outer Worlds.
Outer Worlds.
I do need to get back to Outer Wilds. I think that's really one of my top games this year. But anyways, yeah, the Outer Worlds. So I made a mistake of playing this first on stream. I can't lie. Like at that point, I just wasn't. It didn't get me. Like I'm not like, oh man, I'm hooked. Yeah, this is what I was looking for, and that's probably because like, for me, streaming these games is horrible. Because I'm actually trying to pay attention to story, but I'm also trying to entertain at the same time.
It's difficult for these kind of games.
Yeah. The following day, I decided it's like I'm just gonna play it, not stream it. Just try and enjoy it. Yeah, it did with the good old games like this, or like Elder Scrolls or the Fallouts or stuff like that. And I guess because them. It really captured me the way those games does, and even more so. And I think that's not just because I think this is a better polished game than we usually get. Like that still has weird moments because you can't predict for everything in these type of games.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I think it's the sci-fi aspect of it. I really like the setting, like so much.
Yeah, I mean, sorry, Studio Fortress just wrote purchasing Outer Worlds at the moment, and I just saw that, and I couldn't. I need to just end the show right. Actually, now I need Studio Fortress, go make us an Outer Worlds t-shirt. I know it's your idea, but I need to see. No,
I don't want to see what. No, what would that be? Is that like the udders of a cow just all spinning around like a tornado? I mean.
Yeah,
it's like helicopter.
No, I think you nailed it. I think you nailed it in one right there.
Okay.
I possibly. Yeah. No. What was I saying? What did you just say? The Outer Worlds.
I don't remember.
Okay, so you were talking. So you were talking about the game. It's hard to account.
Fever Justin. Who knows what I've said?
Yeah, it's hard to account for everything with these kind of games. I played just shy 40 hours, I think somewhere between 35 to 40 hours. I meant to check before I started, and before I started the show, and I forgot to, but I think it should be roughly somewhere over 35, somewhere under 40 hours, beating the game in the middle of the night last night. And I only faced what I would qualify as 2 bugs. Game never crashed once for me, which is amazing to me. And the 2 bugs were literally, I'm like, I'm going to jump onto this because I want to see if it looks like there might be something on this ledge up here. I'm going to jump onto this, and then like the stairs were all collapsed. So I was like, there might be something up there. So I'm going to jump onto this and onto that and get up there. Clearly the game didn't want you to do that. And it didn't want to throw, an invisible wall. And so as soon as I landed on top of this, not toppled over bookcase, it started going, brrr, the sound games make when you get stuck on an object and it doesn't know how to count. And I was like, okay. So I ended up having to reload. The game is super generous with autosaves though, so it's like I lost 45. I think I reset about a minute and a half and had to fight a Manta Queen again. Actually, the first time I faced the Manta Queen, when I came back in, it was like a couple of lower class ones.
Yeah, not only is this game super generous with autosaves by its default settings, I think it actually has settings where you can increase your autosaves,
which is just nuts.
Or how often it saves. So yeah.
Yeah, it's something else. But I had a similar starting experience to you. I started the game. The game came out on what was a Friday. I hopped into the game late at night I figured I would create a character, play for maybe an hour, and see what happened. Character creator took me forever. And to be clear, the actual creating your face thing is super limited. That took no time at all. I created a character that was perfectly fine. There wasn't really a lot going on. I was okay with it. I figured it's a first-person game. Am I ever literally going to see my character anyways? I wasn't going to think too much on it, and there weren't too many options. I imagine there's not too many options because you don't see your character that much.
Yeah, and the whole see your character thing, that's something that bummed me out initially, but I got quickly over. And
exactly.
What I mean by that is, well, this does seem like this definitely does seem like a game out of time.
Well, I was going to get
great.
Yeah, I want to. Oh, let me finish the thought because I want to get to that as well. So I hopped in the game. What took me so the character creator itself took me like 10 minutes. What took me forever, which I think took me a little over an hour, was skill point stuff, because the game gives you a lot of. So you have your characteristic stuff, which is stuff like intelligence, charm, things like that, and those you can have it anywhere from below average to average to you can put up to 3 points in it, and taking stuff points out allows you to put points in other stuff, and it affects different things. If you do low intelligence, it actually gives you low intelligence options in some dialogue, but higher stuff, higher perception and intelligence specifically can give you and dexterity even has one, give you skill checks in certain conversations, but then also it's other things like different stats. So I was like, I don't know what to do about this. I was like nervous, and that took me a while. Then came the actual skills, and it's like, I don't understand how any of these skills work, and I didn't know the game had a respec thing. I didn't know that the game had a respec thing. It's almost 10 hours in. When I came across it purely by accident. So I was like, oh, I guess I didn't really need to worry so much because I'm not familiar with this game. I could have just done frickin' anything. So yeah, it took me a while, and then by then I was kind of like bummed out in the game. The intro was cool. I was enjoying the humor and stuff, but I was honestly tired. And then I think I said to you what you were about to say in the first hour. I'm like, this game is too familiar, I think might have been my wording.
It's too familiar, and I was expecting something more. Because I'm always expecting when they're doing this is on me. It's not them. I kind of stayed away from the game for a reason. Not look too deep into it, but I expected some way advancing it. For one, some things that are kind of out of time. You play a first person shooter now. You look down, you can see your body.
Sure.
Just when it's just your hands, or you climb a ladder, there's nothing. It's that type of first person experience, kind of like what you would see in a BioShock or the older Fallout, or just most RPG first person games that I could think about. The combat still feels like Fallout, actually. There's no I would really love a crouch slide, something like that. I would really like something to move the gun combat forward, especially because this one heavily more focused on gun combat and does melee. Though the melee's pretty much what you expect as well. And yeah, I think Greg said this. I think it nails it perfectly what this is. This is when Igarashi split off to make what he always wanted to do with Castlevania, or his version of Castlevania.
Yeah.
When Bloodstains hit, it was nothing that moves it forward. It's nothing that's going to make fans who didn't like that type of Castlevania games like this now. It was just a polished version of that, pretty much. And this is kind of what this is. This is it's an indie project, or a developer that went indie, even though technically they're not anymore. Obsidian.
Yeah.
And it's just doing this is our version of what we would do with this game if we had full control, if we got the funding and stuff like that. So that's kind of what it reminds me of mostly.
Yeah, well, one
and
thing
that's not a bad thing whatsoever, to be clear.
Yeah,
But
it's
yeah,
not. No, it's not a bad thing at all. And like the way we referred to it when we were talking, it felt like a game out of time. It felt like a 5 to 8 year old game. Except unlike when these games came out 5 to 8 years ago, this feels super hyper polished. There are some quirks and some issues, but that's kind of what it felt like to me. I think the biggest issue Outer Worlds had, and I didn't get hit by this necessarily because I would love to say I avoided most of the marketing for the game and what the game was about, but the truth is I feel like Obsidian kind of dropped the ball a little bit for a while because it sort of just disappeared for nearly the entirety of 2019. It really wasn't, it didn't really pop back up on people's radars. Very briefly around, I think, E3, and then it was just, I don't mean briefly, like it was on consciousness for like an hour kind of thing, and then it just didn't pop up again until like the 2 weeks leading up to launch. Kind of situation. So, I avoided marketing through a multitude of reasons, but a lot of people were like, yeah, it's the successor to Fallout New Vegas. And for me, I've never played New Vegas. We've talked about this before. But people keep saying it's a successor to Fallout New Vegas to the point that Obsidian's referred to it as the spiritual successor to Fallout New Vegas. And here's the thing, I don't feel it's the spiritual successor to any Fallout game. Now, this is my perfect Fallout game. I've said before, I did not like Fallout 3. Fallout, I liked Fallout 1 and 2, the old isometric games. Fallout 3 felt too big. It felt too much like Oblivion with a Fallout coating on it. I didn't like a lot of things on it. I felt like there was actually too much to do right off the bat. Everyone always talks about the first time they left the vault and they saw that they could go anywhere. They're like, it was breathtaking. I walked out of the vault for the first time in Fallout 3 and I'm like, can I just go back in? Like, I actually wanted more of a self-contained experience, at least to start. And
that's kind of what New Vegas... Well, New Vegas was a more pulled back version of Fallout. It wasn't as big. It had more defined story elements to it. Also, they added the aim down sights, which, thank you. I'm sorry, any shooting game needs that now.
That is required, yeah.
Another part that bummed me out too, like when I'm saying like making your characters don't really matter because you don't really see your character at all besides your arms. Like I was hoping there'd be a third person mode, but there's not. I don't know why I decided to go that route because I mean, what these games do. But
they probably just didn't want to animate it. They probably just literally, it just was an unnecessary level of work. I wouldn't be surprised if...
The thing is, I think it is animated because, like, if you, or I could be wrong, if you just leave the game sitting there, it does the thing where, like, it'll actually just pull the camera out and just does a spin around of you and your party.
Oh, see, I've never left the game sitting long enough to actually realize that. So, maybe it could have just been a design choice. There could have been a lot of different things. But what I was so I have no experience in New Vegas, but I feel like referring to this as the spiritual successor to New Vegas is a monstrous disservice because New Vegas, while yes, it's more of a contained experience from what I've heard, it's still open world. People talk about getting lost in the Mojave and stuff like that. It's still it's a very large map. This is a series of maps. I feel like this game is the spiritual successor to the Fallout. Just Fallout. Period. It's just the entire Fallout archetype and stuff like that. I mean,
you look at the people in Obsidian or some of the head ones are people who actually did the original Fallout games. Being everything before 3. Well, maybe not Tactics. I don't remember.
Definitely 1 and 2.
1 and 2 proper. Okay.
Yeah, definitely from 1 and 2. I think a few people may have worked on some Bethesda stuff as well and New Vegas, but yeah, what I was to say was it feels like the spiritual successor to the Fallout energy, but to me this is the pretty much perfect mashup of the Fallout environment, like the Fallout ideals, and with like the way the combat works, with the way some of the energy of doing stuff works. And when I say energy, I don't mean like energy weapons. I mean like the energy, like what you feel about the game, and like the way dialogue works with a lot of the mechanics in UI. But then you have elements of it, the self-containedness, the enclosed environments, the structure of it feels like BioShock, and then aspects of it feel like a less memed Borderlands, with a little bit of a Firefly skin on top, and that's what I get out of it.
Actually, what I started to get more from this too is like, if you took, especially when you start getting companions, which I didn't know this game actually had. Like, I kind of went blackout on it. I didn't deep dive into everything. I was like, that looks cool. I want to play that. That's all I needed. So I honestly did not know about the companions that are like, I just thought just people you run story. No, you actually get companions. They come on your ship with you. You have stories with them. You can you take 2 out when you go out somewhere if you want to. And then that hit me. It's like, if Knights of the Old Republic was in first person and didn't have lightsabers, I think this would be that game.
Yep. I got that exact vibe that this was a first person Knights of the Old Republic styled game, but like a Western sci-fi instead of being, a high fantasy sci-fi like Star Wars, well, mid fantasy.
Yeah, pretty much. So, and I was like, oh, that's cool, and that's actually what started to click with me too, because like it just start off kind of rough. It's a good start. I mean, good story. It does bring you in, but it's like, oh, I played this before, and it's not really hit me. Man, just world's getting kind of old. Though it does get actually more interesting the further you get into that first planet. But it's like the moment you get that ship and you get those companions, you're like, oh, okay, it's starting to hook me now. I get this, and that's where it started getting me. That was during my second time I started playing it too. Now, yeah, I absolutely adore this game.
Yeah, that's one of the things about the way that it works. So I said, like, I played maybe an hour. I got to Edgewater, which is the first city you come across. I got there with my first like little hour in the middle of the night kind of thing. I'm like, all right, I'm kind of enjoying this game. I then sat down at about 9 a.m. because the first weekend they came out, I happened to, my wife, Charnel was out of town. I didn't have the kids, so I sat down at like about 9:30 or so with my breakfast, started playing the game, and I did not stop playing it from 9:30 a.m. until about 1 a.m. I took like a brief break to make food, but anyone who knows me knows I don't play games like that anymore. I'm a 3 hours and my mind starts wandering kind of person at an absolute most.
I think the last game that did that to me, Spider-Man did it to a degree, but definitely God of War.
God of War pulled me, never that long, but
I never get pulled into like, oh crap, it's like 3 to 4 o'clock in the morning. Besides Total War Warhammer 2 when you're playing with a friend, things happen. Yeah, this one definitely like hooked me where I was like, I was just playing it, getting really into it, and I wanted to proceed it. And to give you an idea where I'm at, I guess gameplay time, I looked it up while you were talking, and I have 12 hours to it. Okay.
Yeah, it was one of those things, the way the game worked for me is what really interested me about the game was somebody said, yeah, and the game can be complete in like 20, 25 hours, and since then, like I've read stuff, people saying that, if you just rush through the main storyline, people are finishing it in like 12 hours or less, and people are also taking longer. So I reached about 20 hours, and honestly, I got to this point like around 20 to 25 hours into the game where I'm like, jeez, is this game ever going to end? Like I was enjoying it, to be clear, but I was like almost like, okay, I am burning out just a little bit on doing all these side quests, but I can't stop myself because I'm very interested. And then I ended up finally like it reached about 32 to 33 hours. I'm like, oh, okay, no, I'm actually in the end game now. Like it very much clicked. Just a quick side thing. Somebody Blam in chat says it's a very good game. Maybe I've just been sleeping on RPGs this gen, but I've been enjoying this one. I've been playing actually quite a few RPGs and Western. When I say Western, I mean like U.S. and Europe made RPGs. I've been playing quite a few this generation, and I think this is a very well put together game. All I know is I finished it and I want to restart it. What's up?
Yeah, I kind of want to do it. It's like, also, we haven't really had this type of game. Unless you count off Fallout 76, and I don't.
Fallout 4 is the closest thing, and that's now that's ancient at this point.
Mashing on Fallout 76 because it's its own thing, but it's not this.
It's its own thing, literally.
Yeah. So yeah, it was kind of it's nice to play this again too. Like I was kind of feeling an itch for it, and the fact that it is self-contained, it is not self-contained. That's the wrong word, but it is like more reeled in, more contained, not as just a weird big map. It's like smaller vignettes, pretty much. It just sucks it in, man. And I like that. It's just work concise. Like I will take a as far as a more enjoyment game experience for me, I think always something that has like a defined path, narrative. It's always a better experience for me too.
Absolutely.
I do enjoy open world games. That seems to be my bread and butter for the longest time too, because that's all I've been playing lately. But it's just something nice about it. Like I especially with how many things are out. Like I still gotta get Disco Elysium, and let's not even talk about what's coming. Well, we're going to talk about briefly at the end of the show what's coming up next couple weeks, because holy crap,
so much.
Just this week. Yeah, I don't know. It's something familiar, something we've seen, but at the same time, also a breath of fresh air.
It's something old and something new all at the same time.
They definitely borrowed. I'm pretty sure you can find something blue.
I wouldn't be surprised. Here's the thing, though. You talk about the fact that we talk about open world and stuff like that, and that it's something a common Studio Fortress made a little while ago. Let me double check. Open world anxiety, and that's actually a great way to describe how I am in some games of that nature. Funny enough, Elder Scrolls never does that to me. Almost everything else of that style of open world, literally the go do anything thing, and it can be clear, open world more than sandbox. I think people always, I think, use those terms for the same thing, and they're not. Sandbox to me is
Minecraft.
I would say yes. I would say Grand Theft Auto as well. Sandbox, because you can go off and do anything in Grand Theft Auto, and there's a story, but the going off and do anything is not important. You're not going to break your world by going on a shooting spree. You know what I mean?
Speaking of which, and me mentioned Red Dead earlier, all my friend wants to do right now is hunt. Like, he was interested to take an image, like, I can hunt?
Yep.
I'm like, yeah, man.
That's all I want to do online is hunt. That's all I want to do in the online mode.
Which I'm down for. But yeah, it's more defined. Like, I get, wow.
Question.
Sorry. My brain's repeating itself. My fevered brain.
Yeah, no worries. Question for Yosemite. Is it weird to say, I'm assuming this is Outer Worlds, is it weird to say it is Bioshock and Mass Effect, the first game of both series? You mean like a combination? I definitely feel it, I feel
has similarities between all those, yeah.
I would feel like, again, my thing is I feel Fallout, Borderlands, and Bioshock with Firefly skin is what I get most out of it, but I do get the Mass Effect aspect. The first time you walk onto each new world in Outer Worlds, it does give me that same thing, like the first time I landed on Pharos, the first time I landed on Novaria, the first time I landed on Vermeer, except much prettier, and I'm like looking around like, whoa, I feel like I'm on a new world. I do get that.
Which, actually, good similarities, and for good reason, too. I mean, BioWare and Obsidian have worked hand in hand before. Like I did mention, Knights of the Old Republic. They did the second one. That's based off of BioWare's attempt, which was pretty much derived, which is like they have their lineage of Baldur's Gate, Dragon Age, and so on. And yeah, definitely, of course, going on to Mass Effect, shares those same tropes, I guess.
It's the same roots, essentially. The same. I mean, the Bioware tree grew in a specific way, and then Obsidian grew in a similar-esque way, and they kind of branched out, keeping the tree metaphor going, and they ended up, but they were kind of based in the same kind of area. This game reminds me actually a lot of what I love about Alpha Protocol, just a bit better made. Again, you might be asking yourself, I've heard people like diss some stuff in Outer Worlds and some stuff about the combat and feeling outdated and things like that, but the thing is, I still to this day love Alpha Protocol, so that should tell you everything you need to know about my style of combat. That being said, on the combat of Outer Worlds, I read this before I started. The game has 4 difficulty modes. It has story, ease, I think story, normal, hard, supernova. Story mode is literally you're there for the story, nothing challenges you. Normal and hard are what they sound like. Supernova is things like you can only sleep in your own bed, companions don't automatically resurrect after combat, stuff like that. And you can also
slept in this game yet.
You don't need to. So in Supernova mode, I believe sleeping is the only way to heal certain injuries.
Gotcha.
Is why that's important.
So bring it back to Fallout. It's just like their, I forget what they call it in there. It's not just realistic, but they do have like a mode where it's just more challenging. Like your items weigh more, or like bullets weigh stuff like that too. I don't know if that's like that on this. So familiar with that. I just gotta say that the difference between normal and hard is a bigger jump than I thought it would be, because I'm one that's like I started on hard. and I actually turned it down. I'm one who usually plays games on hard. I'm still trying to get through Gears on Insane.
Mm-hmm.
But like my stream was literally me dying at the same spot like 5 different times.
So you were playing on hard, you said?
Yeah. Now I turned it back to normal. It's getting a little too easy, but it seems to be a more enjoyable experience. So
that's what I've heard a lot of people is the game's not tuned necessarily well. It's really funny. Greg Miller was talking about dying a lot in his review. Particularly, there's a quote unquote final boss in the game, and it's funny. He's talking about dying a lot. Meanwhile, I one shot at the final boss in the game, and to be clear, I never put I put no skill points. I'm playing on normal. I put almost no skill points into guns or melee. I gave up on melee because melee was just not fun. I originally wanted to do melee because even though I don't like Dishonored, I like a lot of the physicality of how knives work. And somebody said, hey, if you hold one of the knives in the game, it looks like Dishonored. And I was like, I'm going to play that. Melee did not play like that, and I did not end up enjoying it. So I just stuck to a sniper rifle and a pistol essentially. But I one-shotted the final boss of the game, which was and I was like I'm that without having skills. So I think I just reached the point of leveling and upgrading my guns. But that being said, people keep talking about the tuning of the game between that normal's too easy for most everyone and hard does provide a real difficulty. I played normal the whole way through. I died 4 times in this game. 2 times was because I was like, I wonder if I could fall into this area, and turns out the answer was yes, and I died. 1 time because I wasn't paying attention in combat, and the fourth time, I don't remember exactly what it was, but it was, I don't know, it just, the game is almost too easy. Combat almost becomes second nature.
I will say, upgrading your dialogue, your persuasion, and all that definitely does put the game on a completely other, easier level.
Well, yeah, because you never have to do combat.
You never have to do combat. You don't have to sneak most of the time. You could completely bypass missions or big side stories just because you picked a certain dialogue option.
Yeah, I picked dialogue options. I maxed out persuasion. That with the characters in my party and what I was wearing, my persuasion was like 120 something. And to be clear, it was like 120, but based on the actual points I put into it, it was only 75. I had like 50 points of bonus points in this damn thing. That's how a lot of the stuff in the game was for me with those things. I think the only skill I actually maxed out was science, and that was purely because the final perk of that, or whatever it's called, the final bonus it gives you is a 90% reduction to tinkering with stuff. So I'm like, I could just max out all my weapons, because the game caps at level 30. So I just made all my weapons level 35, and I was a god in this game. Like, it was destruction. But the cool thing about playing on normal is, there was never much of a challenge, but I could also just explore. I thought I did literally everything there was to do on the planet Monarch in the game, and then I had to go back there because there was like a quest later on that just takes you through all the planets to just see the sights kind of thing, like a tour guide kind of quest. And when I went back, where it took me on Monarch was this place I'd never been before. I ended up discovering a whole slew of like environmental storytelling stuff that I had just not seen. Because even though it's not open world or sandbox, there's still so much to see. Mm-hmm. And it was a pleasure to explore.
And almost to lend to that, like the visuals on the level design is absolutely beautiful.
I want to play this game in 4K so badly.
I do too. Saying that at the same time, I'm actually excited when this comes out on Switch.
I am, but I'm also not, because I've heard the PS4 version of the game has a lot of loading issues and a lot of issues. To be clear, we should talk about this at the top. I'm playing this on PC Game Pass. This is my first game out doing Game Pass.
Actually, I was going to do some more on Xbox, but like as I mentioned, I think when we were talking about before we played it, it's like I wonder if it did have Xbox Cloud saves. It didn't say it does, and it doesn't. I wish it did, because I probably would swap between. I would love to play this on my TV out there. Because that game is that beautiful. Actually, I guess technically I still can with Steam Link. But we'll have to do some tinkering to get Xbox to work through that, because it doesn't work well.
Sure.
But whatever. Here or there. I'm getting the Founders Edition of Stadia anyway, so we'll see what comes with it. Yeah, that's happening. Couple weeks. Not even a couple weeks.
That
cancels your shit, Josh.
I'm gonna keep it.
Okay.
But yeah, so overall, like, Outer Worlds has been a delight to play. I couldn't stop thinking about it. Literally, it became actually hard for me to do anything else other than play this game. Like, I would just hop in. I don't like hopping into games for like less than 30 minutes because I always feel like, well, I'm wasting my time, so I just don't play stuff. But I would hop into this literally, like, Charnel would be like, all right, I'm gonna give the kids a bath, and I would hop into Outer Worlds for like the 10 minutes she was bathing the kids before I had to go dry them off and change them to pajamas. Like, that's where I was at with this game. I was having a great time.
Well, I can actually say with this more like contained world, it does feel like a game that you can actually hop in for 10 minutes and kind of feel like you did something.
Exactly.
Yeah, because it just take you like 10 minutes to walk to one area.
Yeah, you can get around everywhere easily. Fast passes, checkpoints are very generous around the map.
Super generous.
They're super generous, so you can really get to any part of the map you feel like exploring. One thing we also didn't discuss is this harkens back to the old days of like Oblivion and stuff like that, where every single solitary NPC in this game can be killed before you ever speak to them. Named person, quest person, what it'll do is it'll invalidate your ability to sometimes finish a quest, but you can kill main story people as well, and it just finds you a workaround to continue it, and it's absolutely amazing. And some stuff, there's moments where one of your companions gets really mad about a thing, and things of that nature, but like it always finds a way to let you keep playing. I really want to do a playthrough where I just kill everyone, and oftentimes when I'd have only 10 to 15 minutes to play, I would load in and be like, all right, let's test this weapon that I just built, and I already have my save because I just loaded in, and let's kill literally every person on Groundbreaker and see what happens. And yeah, it was doable. It was an entirely possible thing, and also because the game is so freaking easy on normal, it's not like hopping in as a low to mid-level character in like Skyrim or something where you eventually get overwhelmed before you become god. Like this, it just was never like you could be level 5 and kill everyone in Edgewater, and it wasn't that much of a challenge. I may have done that as well.
God, there's actually so much more I want to talk about this, but we're actually kind of running kind of long. And
yeah, I'm already getting the text to stop talking.
Because we even haven't got about like the story. We haven't gotten to the companions. Which,
I really want
like the story. It's fine, but like I'm not super interested in the main overarching story. I'm more interested in these companion stories more than
exactly
at the moment.
Well, that's the thing. The main storyline about helping find the Hope Colonists and stuff like that, and things of that nature, and reviving things like that. It's good. It's actually a really cool story, but it's the terminals you come across. It's the environmental storytelling. It's the companion quests. It's the random quests. There is something that happens in the second to last place you unlock. I'm not gonna say anything more than that. There's an environmental storyline which literally might be my favorite, top 5 favorite stories in video games. It is one of the single most heartbreaking things there ever. Also, I'll keep this as spoiler free as I can. On the planet Monarch, there is someone by the name of Herbert. Do not kill Herbert. And that's literally what I'm saying. It is. I have never been in the words of Spock in Star Trek 2009. I'm emotionally compromised just thinking about this story. It was amazing. Sammy Blaine says we should do a mini podcast series. I don't want to do another one of those. We kind of failed with the Fire Emblem series. If we did
did we?
No, we didn't. We accomplished what we wanted to do. If I could actually get the season finale for season 1 released, that would be great. I just have not had the time to get it out. But no, I want to do a spoiler show. I really want to talk about Outer Worlds. I want to go deep dive with some people. So maybe just keep it in the catch-all directory, not do a separate show. Just do like a special or something.
We may have to do one for Outer World because we're definitely is not going to be next week's episode because I'm probably going to break my brain and any of the person's brain listen to me talk about Death Stranding.
Yeah, next week is going to be all about Death Stranding. I'm already expecting, but yeah, no, I wouldn't mind coming back to it.
It's going to lead with Battle Operations too, but yes, also Death Stranding.
Yeah, no, I would like to come back to Outer Worlds in some capacity, so we'll figure something out because I want to talk more about it because I haven't even said the fact. Here's something. Parvati is a companion that I like at the same level as Garrus.
Whew, Parvati is truth though.
She has I loved Petra in Fire Emblem. I've loved a lot of companions that games have come out with recently, but Parvati, sincerely, if she's not a tie, she is my second favorite companion in video games, and that is just blows my mind. I even told Charnel that, and she was looked at me like I was insane. I love this character so freaking much, and I love her companion storyline, and I love so much about this game. If you asked me when I started this game out if this was going to be a Game of the Year contender, I was just going to probably tell you no. I can't imagine it, but this I want to play it again before I confirm. This is right now though in my top 30 favorite games ever.
It's definitely up there.
It feels good
to get Ashley Birch on the show.
I would very much like to talk to her about this character and
things it's not just Ashley Birch. She does bring out she does an awesome performance on most things she does, but it's just the writing on it too.
The writing is for the character is phenomenal.
God, whose Twitter is it that's posted stuff about it? It's super wholesome. It's
Kate Dollarhide has been posting a lot of stuff.
Yes. Doing some of the dialogue in the game, and it's just
someone else
good, very witty.
Yeah, someone else started the character, and then Kate, I think, picked up the writing. If I remember it happened. Kate's been posting a lot of things about Parvati, and it's literally makes my day every time I read more about the character. I don't know what they're gonna do because I imagine there's gonna be an Outer Worlds 2 in some capacity. I don't even remember if they have any kind of DLC plans of any nature whatsoever. I cannot remember.
It's definitely I haven't even finished the game yet, but it's definitely something I can see. It's I can go for a second helping different colony.
I want to play this. I want to play Outer Worlds over again. I'd like to play it on the Switch when it comes to the Switch eventually, assuming it's actually a good port of it. I want to support this game. If there's DLC, I'm gonna pick it up, and I would like to see Outer Worlds 2 because they could do other colonies. The game does set up the possibility of other things. I'm gonna very against spoiler free. I think the ending to this game is a little bit on the weak side how they did it, but it works fine. Again, it is enjoyable, and I just want to see where things end up. I want to play a low intelligence character. I want to play a character who just murders everyone. I discovered that you can murder people during companions, friend characters during cutscenes, and completely break the game and make me cry. Sorry, Parvati. I did a thing, and I'm really still upset about it. It was an accident. I was testing something out. I reloaded. The versatility of what you can do is really cool, and I need more time with this game, and I really need people to talk about this. So if you're a person who does podcasts or guests, wants to guest on podcasts or things like that and want to talk about Outer Worlds, please let Justin and I know because we might be doing some more Outer Worlds discussions.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I just got the dinners ready where the F are you text.
All right, so we'll go ahead and round out the show. But yeah, I forget how we do things here. But yeah, that's all for today. Again, next week, probably going to be Death Stranding heavy. Being me, Kojima fan, even though when I hear about this game, God, I don't know what to expect. It's Kojima, and that's all I can guarantee you.
I just want to hear you talk about the game. I have after finally hearing enough stuff of it, I have no interest.
When I will see Norman Reedus' ass enough where I can finally describe it.
I mean, that's really what we all dream of. I was saying on Twitter the other day is what if Death Stranding that's coming out Friday is not actually Death Stranding, but it's just a continuation of the really weird thing. It's just a $60 demo, and the real Death Strand. This is all it is it just ends with the realization that you're just watching another trailer, and this is just all part of the hype campaign for Death Stranding for real next year. Yosemite Blam says, "What if it's actually Metal Gear Solid 3 remastered?"
Only it's like, yeah, Konami and Kojima was a ruse. Konami and Kojima thought about it.
All of this. The thing is, all of this seems like shit that Kojima would do. Like nothing.
He made a fake game studio to to troll everybody about Metal Gear Solid 5. Made a fake game developer that was a mummy man.
Like all seems like a Kojima-esque thing. I would not put it past him.
Well, I can't wait to run around with Norman Reedus, take showers, and deliver stuff to Jeff Keighley and Conan O'Brien.
Yeah, no, it all sounds enjoyable. And then that'll be predominantly next week's. And then next week will be all about me panicking about Pokemon and Star Wars coming out like 2 days later. So,
and Stadia.
Maybe I'll cancel it. I don't know.
Come on, we can play Destiny, Josh.
Yeah, actually, that does sound tempting. I'm not even gonna lie. That legitimately sounds. No, I'm probably not canceling it. Also, our Chromecast is started dying in the living room, so like, I mean, may as well just get a new Chromecast.
I don't have a Chromecast. So that's the main reason I went for Founders Edition. I'm like, even if I don't, I have this controller, which I assume I could use on PC. I have no idea.
I can't. I do not think you can. I'm going to assume you cannot use it on PC.
I'm assuming it has to charge. I assume it has a USB cable to charge. Thus, I assume it's going to work on PC.
It might not work out of the box. You might have to, jury rig it in some way. But yeah, you're right. All right. Let's close this out without any news discussions because that went a while. And seriously,
the biggest thing was like, not the biggest thing.
I said no news.
I know.
Okay.
We talk about Star Wars, like EA and Steam did a thing, but not really. You still have to. I'm glad you missed my hand motions.
Caught him out of the corner of my eye. I was muting the microphone because I really am trying to get this stupid thing off my controller. I like this thing, but
I was actually thinking it's like we're going to pick up Jedi Order from, but honestly, it's more steps to pick it up through Steam because it does exactly what Ubisoft does and most other.
It loads
people
its
who out there
own
and watch
thing.
it. Yeah, you still have to have Origin installed. It still does a DRM check for that. Not to mention you have to do your DRM check through Steam. So, whatever. Probably end up getting an Origin because I probably can get it cheaper on there.
I think I may have ordered it from I think I ordered from Best Buy because again, 20% off and $10 thing.
You do it on PC or console?
PC.
I'm slightly tempted to do PS4, but I'll probably get on PC. But yeah,
very tempted. I was very tempted to do it on PS4, but no, I try to stick to PC whenever possible these days.
Gotcha. So, but yeah, that is all this week. Wow, I forgot there's actually a whole thing here.
I got one last. Hold on, actually, before you do, I got one question for you. Tomorrow,
I was on a roll.
I know. Tomorrow, the day this, which is the day this show releases, is N7 Day. Just a quick question. So people who are watching this after the fact of the edited version already know the answer, but for those live, is BioWare doing anything for N7 Day? No.
No.
I'm answering for you. No, they've already said they're going to do a Dragon Age day on December 4th. Because Dragon Age 4. We're going to probably get some minor stuff. Now, tomorrow, we're going to get some fun fan art. They might do a little video. But literally, no, you sound me blame. We're not getting Mass Effect Trilogy remaster. I don't think we're hearing. I think we will actually finally hear an announcement about that E3 next year or something. Because in an investor call, EA actually did state that they want to do more remasters. So, and BioWare was tagged in that call. So, yes, I think we're gonna get remaster announcement. But I'm actually thinking N7 Day next year. Like I still think it's a ways off. But no, it's gonna be the most minor thing
Mass
ever
Effect
for
on Switch.
Please, for the love of God, give me the trilogy on Switch. I beg of you. I would be all about that. All right, do your outro.
Oh yeah, thank you all for joining us this week. The Catch All Gaming Podcast is live every Wednesday, 4 p.m. to Pacific, 7 p.m. Eastern, right here on mixer.com/concoutpod. That is our new time because of daylight savings time. It affects everybody except Josh.
Arizona sucks.
Yeah, well,
no, it sucks.
Maybe they're right. Never mind, they're not. We're on Facebook at facebook.com/constantly calibrating, Twitter at concalpod. I'm your host, Justin at Justin_glorious on Twitter. Josh is Bear Punch at Bear Punch. Wow, messed that one up. And check Instagram at instagram.com/constantcalibrating. Come chat with us on Discord at constantlycalibrating.com/Discord. How did I do this last week? I was like putting a voice with it or something. I don't even remember.
I don't know. You hit puberty every other note here.
I think I did try to do Jeff Goldblum, not really. Anyways, please make sure to leave us a review whenever
I just need my tower and everything turned off for a second. I literally thought I turned off the computer for a second. Please,
it really does help get the podcast in front of more listeners and helps us get into some events. Apple Podcasts and Spotify are the most helpful. Yes, Josh?
No, I'm just staying away from the microphone.
Yeah, with that, Razzle Dabble, well, wait, damn it. Let Ryan know it worked a little bit. Till we catch you next time. It's been our pleasure.
All right.
That was literally a fever-pitched episode.